Society and the stars have somehow aligned to make us not only get new Astral Express units with their new forms, but we also have a new preservation character finally, and a new preservation set to come along with him. We'll be taking a look at the new relics, on what they do, if they are worth the farm for your account, if you should farm them for other units, and so on, so on. Make sure to subscribe because we are closing in on 2,000 subscribers, and let's go. I'm sure Hyacine's, Saridra, and the Fate collab are going to take a toll on your wallet and your jades, if not already. Not to mention that Evernight and Terrae are also arriving very soon. Thankfully though, LootBar is here to save you. They offer you much cheaper and affordable prices, up to 25%, just by using their link down below, which also is a big help to me as well. I'm sure you've heard of them before. They've worked with Maker on Z and Raiden Shogun, kind of the bigger YouTubers that have worked with LootBar, and I'm here to tell you they're doing good because the amount difference is quite big, like this big. You can basically save a bunch of money just by going to LootBar. We're gonna buy this big boy pack over here to show you an example, of course. Enter your UID and what server your account is in. Click the top up now after you are done. Wait up to 5 minutes after you see this screen, and boom. Money. The top-up bonus is also active on LootBar, and by using my link down below, you will save 10% off of your next purchase with my special coupon, alongside a bunch of other coupons that they offer when you first visit the store. First thing we have to clear up is the fact that they are both best in slots for the new units Terrae and Evernight respectively. But why exactly is that? World-Making Deliverer, the best in slot for Evernight, increases your crit rate by 8% for the 2-piece and for the 4-piece set after every basic attack or skill the wearer uses. If the memo sprite is additionally on the field, the max HP of both of them will be going up by 24%, and additionally will increase all ally damage by 15%, which will be lasting until the wearer takes a turn. So this has a duration of one Evernight turn. Evernight's mechanics are very heavily based on her skill, which this relic buffs quite a bunch by giving it another purpose on top of it being a core mechanic skill. Not to mention that the max HP and crit rate increases are extremely helpful, especially the max HP, because you will be needing max HP most of the time due to Eevee needing quite a bunch of max HP to deal the appropriate amount of damage, making this of course the perfect best in slot. As for Terrae's best in slot, it increases the shield strength by 10%, and for the 4-piece, it additionally increases it by another 12%, so you have 22% of shield increase, and it also gives any unit with the wearer's shield, so in this case Terrae, it will give them a 15% crit damage boost without any duration. This will be lasting as long as you can keep up the shield, which obviously means you have to be very careful and you have to be constantly having your allies shielded, especially your DPS. Again, to go over what we just said, these are the best in slots specifically for Evernight and Terrae because they play a big and perfect role basically into the mechanics that Evernight and Terrae have. Evernight gets amazing buffs for playing as she is, and for Dunhung, it obviously gives him beefier shields that you can throw at your team, and it gives you a little extra buff to your DPS in case they aren't doing enough damage. Plus, this guy is a shielder. He's not supposed to buff your allies by giving them any extra attack or anything, so technically you are having another kind of buffer just by having this set on. Meaning his sole purpose as a preservation unit that obviously lies in the shielding being very beefy, this damage increase does kind of make him another harmony unit for your team. Not as much, not even close, but having that 15% increase will give you a much better chance in battles you might not even have won. Now that we know why and how good they are and for the main units, are they really worth the farm? Should you really be spending your resin, your trailblazer power, to these relics instead of using, for example, old 4-piece relics, or just going with the usual 2-piece? Well, at least for Evernight and Terrae again, these are going to fit right in because they are specifically designed to help these two units. Obviously, this does come at a cost that you have to sink days and days of farming just to get these new sets and have them as a decent 4-piece, so at least remember this when you try to farm them. But for personal experience and for a good advice, I would start using 2-piece until you get the right set ready to go. Another question we also have to answer is, if they are very worth the farm, at least for Evernight and Terrae, who else are they worth for? Is it really worth to put yourself through days and days of mindless sinking of your resin just to get a set that might not even be there tomorrow? Well, thankfully for me, and unfortunately for everyone else, few units exist that can take advantage of these buffs, and these units are in order Castorice, Hyacine for the Deliverer set, and for the Recluse, it's mostly Aventurine, but if you are crazy enough, March 7th can also have some use. To give you an example on like Castorice, the Deliverer's power lies in giving you this max HP increase, and for Castorice, you might be able to play in teams with another sub DPS, for example, a Blade or a Mighty, meaning this damage increase will also be going to them as well, giving you a little bit more comfort in Blade's damage or Mighty's damage, alongside having a much stronger Castorice. As for Recluse, we barely got any shielders in the game so far, so shielding relics are very scarce and few, but I have to say this one is amazing considering it buffs your DPS as well. Aventurine will definitely see a rise in this set being used on him, not only because it makes the shields beefier, but because it also makes your DPSs deal a little more damage, and of course this is very nice because at some point Aventurine's shields are more than enough. You won't be needing to shield any more than you already are, so you're gonna start to be looking for other ways to make Aventurine more helpful. Combining this relic set with obviously his ultimate, you will notice that the ultimate increases the crit damage the enemies take, but with this set, you will also make your DPS deal more crit damage, and on top of the relic giving you another 15% on your DPS, you will notice that these actually align perfectly because not only do you get more crit damage on your DPS, you also make the enemies take more of the crit damage, so the value can go much higher than we expected even. Okay, we've talked about Aventurine getting a good and needed replacement in my opinion. Is he the only one that finds use from these relics? Are the new relics better than any others even? Well, the Knight set gets 99% outclassed because obviously the shield effect is a little lower, and in my opinion the crit damage boost is a little too good to pass up. I'm not saying you have to chase this new set if you already have a good 4-piece Knight. If you really cannot be wasting resources into getting this new relic set just for a little boost, I would put it to the side and keep it for another time to do. This new relic set compared to the Knight set is a complete outclass, but it's not exactly an outclass of you need to get the new set right away. For the Deliverer set, we actually don't have a competitor, so I guess it's number one. I guess it's the best. Moving to the upgrade. For upgrades and replacements, I think Castorice will not be using the new set at all. It's way too weak compared to the Poet set, which is the exact opposite for Hyacine. Hyacine, on the other hand, it actually helps her a ton, boosting her max HP, which is exactly what she scales off of, and the ally damage as well is exactly what she needs, because a healer that also deals damage will now be able to buff your team just a little more, while also keeping her damage very high. For the Deliverer set, Tribi and Jingliu can find some use. Jingliu not as much, but Tribi in my opinion can actually use this set fully. I mean, it's terrible compared to Poet again, and Jingliu has way better sets to use than this one, but forget that. These can be used if you want. I'm not telling you that you should use them. I'm letting you know that if you are starting the game out or whatever, these can find some use until later on. And other units that can find kind of some use from these sets will be Fu Xuan, Lynx, Mighty, and Blade, of course, because of the max HP increase, but for the guys specifically, they should probably be in a dual DPS team because that's where that relic will shine the most. In summary, the new sets are good for the new units, but they can also find good use in some previous characters, especially for example Aventurine with the Recluse. Not all of the previous characters have good use with the new relic sets, but obviously maybe they were not even built for most of the previous units. Maybe they're built for the future, because we currently have very little shielders and very little Memo Sprite users. So I think these sets will get better over time. Hope you enjoyed this video, and comment down below if you are farming any of these sets when they come out. And of course, we're almost at 2,000 subs, and it would mean a lot. Have a great day or night, and thank you for watching. Peace.